Yo dudes! Doesn't have quite the echo without Dave. Welcome to What's in Season, Why to Cook in Season, and an incredible, beautiful autumn stew. So right now we're entering autumn here in the Northern Hemisphere. So right now, what is in veg at the moment? What's in season at the moment? We have butternut, squash and pumpkins. Apples are in season, apples, pears, plums. We have some root veg such as spuds, kale, so that's the brassica family, so it'll be kale, chard, Brussels sprouts, and we have leek, part of the allium family, so beautiful. So all these we're going to make a simple, beautiful autumn stew. This will take about 15 minutes. Benefits of eating in season are the veg is at its freshest, it's at its most nutrition, least amount of air miles, and it's actually the most affordable. So anyway, this is a simple dish, really good one to try. And first step, we're going to take our butternut squash. So with the butternut squash, we've preheated the oven to 180 degrees. Smaller the cube, the quicker it cooks. We're going to keep the skin on because this is organic. Try to get a consistent size cube so it'll cook consistent speed. Okay, so we're going to oil and salt it. Obviously you don't have to put oil on it if you don't want, but the oil will enable the surface temperature raise. It'll encourage more caramelization and a little bit more browning and crispiness. In terms of salt, I'm just going with a pinch. I'm going to pop 3 vegan sausages in on these. They'll just roast at the same time. They're going to add grizzle and just make the dish seem a lot more hearty. So I've preheated the oven to 180 degrees. I'm going to bake it for about 20 minutes until the squash is lovely and soft. Boom. So here's ones we prepared earlier. Way! So we've gone for a larger dice than this. There's our vegan sausages, smelling fab. Oh wow. Just roast it until the squash is lovely and soft. Beautiful. Okay, time to get our stew on. So we've got a pan here, I'm going to put it on high heat. I'm going to put a teaspoon of oil. While that heats up, I'm going to take 1 leek. Many people think of a leek as quite a bland vegetable and kind of don't get excited. For me, it's one of the most succulent, delicious and elegant of all veg, especially when it's in season right now. When a leek is grown, often a lot of sediment is put down the center of it, so make sure to chop down the middle of it. We're going to give it a really good rinse. Whoa, I love that. I've got 1 clove of garlic, which I've just diced nice and finely. And that goes. So give it a stir around just so the oil's nicely dispersed. And I'm going to leave it just for a few minutes. Cool, so while they're going, I'm going to take our potatoes, so 3 spuds. Whatever type of a spud you like. I'm going for kind of a waxy one. This variety is known as a ditta. Good all-rounder, whatever type of potato you like. Again, leave the skin on, it'll have most mentioned nutrition of a potato. And again, chop into consistent size. Okay, leek's been frying for about 2 to 3 minutes. I've got our potatoes, we've been to kind of similar dice. I'm going to pop these into the pan. Get a generous pinch of salt. Salt's going to help the potatoes leave a bit of moisture. I'm going to take a little bit of our veg stock here. I've got 750 ml of veg stock. I'm just going to put in just a small amount because I want the steaming. So we've gone from steaming to suddenly frying. So you see all that steam coming up? I'm going to catch that. I'm just going to just slowly steam the potatoes. It should take about 5 to 6 minutes. What I'm looking for is the potatoes are cooked. So while that's steaming, I'm just going to take our kale off the main vein. So that might sound pretty crude, but there is a main stalk in the kale. It can be a bit hard and brassica and just, you know, won't go so well in the stew. So I'm just going to chop that up. You can keep that afterwards and fry that separately, but I'm just taking the kind of leaves off. Okay, the ideas of apples in a stew might sound crazy and ridiculous, but bear with us, this goes fabulous. I'm going to leave the skin on because there's most many nutrition in an apple. 90% of it is actually in the skin. So I'm just using a small little paring knife here. So you will have to give this a stir once or twice because you see it is sticking to the pan. If it is sticking to the pan, just pop in a little bit more of our veg stock here and we're going to deglaze the pan. So I'm just trying to incorporate any of that browning. That browning is pure flavor. So as a chef, you're trying to maximize flavor and incorporate as much of it into the dish. So really, really go to town on scraping as much of that flavor in as possible. So we steam them for about 5 to 6 minutes. The potatoes are soft, but they haven't started to break up. Right, time to start to bring this dish together. I have some herbs and some spices and some umami. So I'm going to go in with a 1.5 tablespoons of tamari. If you don't have tamari, just use soy sauce. That's just simply going to bring more depth of flavor that complements kind of root veg so well. Just spread it around. Okay, time to bring in our apple. Apple, as I said earlier, might seem like a crazy thing, but it goes incredibly well in this dish. I have some mixed herbs. So this is just kind of dried thyme, dried rosemary, just a little bit. I'm going to go in with about 3/4 of a tablespoon there. A little bit of black pepper. So I'm going with about a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of black pepper, and I have some chili to serve, right? So let's start to bring this dish together. We have all our squash. Oh, it's lovely and soft. Okay, so as I mentioned, I started out with 750 ml of veg stock. I probably put in about 250 to start with, so I'm going to put in the remaining 500 ml. That's going to dampen it down. It's no longer frying, it's now actually kind of boiling or simmering. I'm going to try to incorporate any remaining bit that I've stuck. I'm going to slowly add in our kale. I'm going to put the lid back on. So I'm going to put the lid back on, and it's going to steam the top of my kale. It's going to help just slowly bring this dish together. While I'm waiting for the kale to slowly cook, I'm going to chop these roasted vegan sausages. So I'm just putting the lid on and I'm cooking it with the lid on, so I'm ensuring to keep all that moisture in there, otherwise our sauce will reduce and end up just a little bit dry. We want to maintain our sauce. Et voila! So the dish in total has taken about 25 minutes to make. Just wait until the kale softens down. The idea of apple might sound silly, but wow, does it take this to the next level. I'm going to just put a little bit of sausage in the top. That's like the kind of bit that people will be searching for, you know the way? Just that bit of grizzle. There we are. So this will serve about four kind of normal people, 2 extremely hungry people, and 6 small people. Wow. It genuinely tastes like a sweet autumn belly hug, like really delicious, and that bit of veggie sausage or vegan sausage just goes fabulous. I love leek, I love potatoes, I love squash, I love apples and kale. Dudes, this is fabulous. Thanks for watching. As I said, the kind of benefits of eating in season are supporting local industry, more nutritious, better for the climate, less air miles, and tastes better. Cheers, wishing you a good day. Thanks, bye.